This is Mike Zangrillo from Miami, Florida. For the past 11 years, I've been employed by XPO Logistics as a semi-tractor trailer driver. I pick up and deliver less than truckload general freight here in Miami. My career as a truck driver spans 50 years and covers over 4 million miles. I appreciate this opportunity to share my story with you and tell you why I think it is so important to pass the PRO Act. I led the organizing drive at XPO Miami, and I am a member of the Union Bargaining Committee. In the summer of 2014, my coworkers and I had made the decision to form our union. We were frustrated by substandard equipment, frivolous disciplines, inadequate compensation and benefits packages. We were treated like school children. We wanted dignity, respect. We wanted decent health care, overtime reform, and a voice in our workplace. When word reached XPO that we had met with the Teamsters, there was a swift response. Within a week, 4 union busters appeared at our terminal. They brought an endless supply of free coffee, donuts, pizza, and candy. A few newer tractors were delivered, and repairs on the older ones began in earnest. Discipline virtually disappeared. One-on-one captive audience meetings were held daily with the employees, including ride-alongs, where the union busters accompanied drivers in their trucks all day long. We were pressured relentlessly. We were told that there was no need for a union at XPO. The pressure to vote no increased exponentially with each passing day, and it became oppressive. This roller coaster of threats, intimidation, and subsequent promises of reform should never be permitted to happen. Our initial level of support was 65 votes for the union and 13 opposed. By the time these union busters were done and we held our election, the final tally was 45 for the union and 32 opposed. Fortunately, XPO still lost. I was chosen by my peers to attend negotiations as their representative. From day one, XPO showed us that there was no level too low for them to stoop and no action too despicable for them to take. After they tried and failed to dissuade us, their single objective became to stall, delay, and deny us a contract by any means necessary. Some examples. They would offer unacceptable proposals with absolutely no intention to bargain any further. They would offer package deals that combined an article that we needed, along with, again, another one that they knew we could never accept. When we proposed a counteroffer, they immediately took the package off the table. They would concede to a union proposal in Section 1 of an article, then 2 paragraphs down in Section 3, they would insert language that subverted and invalidated the concession that they just made. They held back benefits and wage increases offered to non-union bonds in a blatant effort to frustrate and divide the bargaining unit. XPO's latest scam is to walk back on an article to which they agreed and signed by stating that, well, we really didn't mean that. The clearest indication of their malicious intent is their absolute refusal to enter into issue-backed binding arbitration, despite the fact that we offered to do so on multiple sticking points and on several occasions. With binding arbitration, we would have had a contract years ago. Going back to 2015, the first time they refused to offer Miami the expected annual wage increase, we took our case to the NLRB. An administrative law judge ruled in our favor, and the raises were reinstated by the court. Still, XPO appealed and tried to delay even further. Despite some fear and apprehension on our part, we decided on a one-day ULP strike to try to move them. We received our raises the following week. We knew this first contract would neither be quick nor easy, but we never expected to be in negotiations 6 years later. An interesting frame of reference here, if you will, is that World War II, the war to end all wars, began and ended in less time than it has taken us to negotiate this contract. The experience of XPO Miami workers is certainly not unique. It shamefully represents the business as usual for XPO. In 2014, when this journey began, we were encouraged by organizing drives in other facilities like the one down in Laredo, Texas. They also won their election after being subjected to the very same union buster brutality that we experienced here in Miami. Yet, the company could not accept the loss. They would not. They appealed and delayed in every way they could. They ignored orders from the NLRB, and they went as far as attempting to bring the union election certification before the U.S. Supreme Court. The court denied hearing the case. All of this took time, years in fact, and while all of this transpired, XPO very skillfully executed the rest of their plan. They replaced many of the union supporters with new employees, hired almost exclusively from minimum wage positions. These new employees were heavily indoctrinated with anti-union rhetoric and propaganda, and once everything was in place, XPO enlisted one employee to act as an agent for the company. He would initiate the decertification petition. Eventually in Laredo, the union was decertified and as their representative. This is XPO's plan. Once an election is won, they frustrate and replace employees until they can tip the scales towards decertification. This is going on in Miami at this very moment. No one in these United States should be penalized for following the rules. We won our election. We chose our representatives. Now 6 long years have passed, and we still don't have the one thing that we want and the one thing that we truly deserve, our contract. I believe that we'll get there, but I also know, deep in my heart, I know that things must change. The PRO Act is the engine of that change, and I'm counting on you guys to put that engine in motion. Thank you.